So boys, something has woken me up from my hibernation like a bear in the winter, resurrected me from the dead. Of course, I'm talking about the recent drama that's been unfolding on Twitter and online over two popular content creators slash personalities online. Of course, I'm talking about Kris Tyson, Kris Tyson, and Dr. Disrespect. To start off with, I'm just gonna say here and out, I'm going to be referring to Kris Tyson as Kris with a K, just only because I will get confused because all my notes were the K, because that's, from my knowledge, that's what the name was when they transitioned. So just some clarity, I'm not misgendering it, it's with the K. Okay, let's get into it.
1, 2, 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe.
So to start off with, I'd just like to say, what the fuck's going on online? This isn't the only two situations that have been unfolding in the last month. Obviously, the Dr. Disrespect is slightly older, but I think if I'm going to start mentioning the topic of this video, I've got to mention Dr. Disrespect, because considering like I haven't been active in it's been a while. Put the screenshot on screen. I haven't uploaded a YouTube video in nearly 10 months, and drama wise it's been 10 months as it says on YouTube Studio. So I'd just like to say, yeah, I'm back partially, and I'll get to that at the end of the video. But yeah, let's get into this whole thing. We'll start off with Kris. So Kris's background, obviously, if you don't know, I mean, why wouldn't you? They are a part of the MrBeast firm. They are the right-hand man of MrBeast, long-time best friend, who had recently got into a bit of a pickle. Right. Kris, over the last year, has been on HRT, hormone replacement therapy, I think it stands for. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think that I'm right. I'm not saying that. And so, I remember covering this over 10 months ago now. This whole situation with, they were like in a bit of like internet drama with someone, I can't remember the name. The video will be on screen now, but it's just, yeah, that happened. But now this is a whole new development in the story that goes a bit further back, which I think is quite important to mention. This is old shit coming to light, and it's not recent, but nonetheless it's still fucked up, and I do think we should talk about it. So let's get into it. So to start off with, the first allegations are grooming. Fucking Dr. Disrespect. It's almost as if they're the same person. So the allegations come from a person. We're gonna introduce this new character now, should I say, called Lava GS. And Lava was basically a child that was in a Discord server with Kris at the time. From what I gather from it, they were friends, but this is the weird thing. They were 14. At the time, Kris was 22. Yeah. So, fucked up. So, to start off with, I'm not going to go through every single bit of evidence. I'll leave a video on screen right now, and I'll put it in the description, a couple of them, just going through the whole situation if you want to hear more. There's quite a lot to it. I'm just going to go through some points that made me think, what the fuck? So let's get into it. So Lava posted in the Discord server, I took this from a screenshot from another YouTube video, stating, I drove from West Virginia to NC, meaning North Carolina. I'm sitting in a camper in the woods right now. So you're thinking, my boy's just having a holiday. It's all okay. Kris lives in North Carolina, and West Virginia is right next to it. These two, from what I gather from all the online shit, were planning to meet up for a while. And then all of a sudden in Kris's Discord server, Lava then mentions this. At the time, this is in 2020, so that's 2 years after, Lava was 16. Which means Kris was 24, and you see the issue here. So you might think, okay, this could be normal, blah blah blah. There was also confirmation that they did meet on Keemstar's Twitter, which stated, MrBeast connected me directly to Lava, the alleged Kris Tyson groomed victim. Lava, I was not groomed by Kris Tyson. Lava, I did not meet Kris Tyson by myself. I met Kris and the MrBeast crew with my family present. That's important. Lava, I ran a Discord with Kris when I was 13, and edgy, inappropriate jokes, apologies, were said in it. Okay, so, they were in a Discord server, they ran a Discord server with Kris. What's the big deal? I'm just going to show one of these messages, and it states, if it comes up on my screen, I get a weird snap from Kris. Lava put this in the Discord server, this is 2019, so we're going back a year from the previous thing of meeting up. Where it's a screenshot from a snap from Kris that says coming from America, coming for America, with a American flag in the background. Coming, spelled C-U-M. She sent this to a 15-year-old. Obviously, pre-transition, blah blah. Just before you get confused and looking at the screenshot, like, yeah, just going on. Okay, the next, there's another screenshot, which I forgot about before, of Lava's Instagram. The face has been blurred out by another YouTuber that I fucking screenshotted this from because I couldn't find it anywhere else. And obviously, I didn't really want to show a picture of a 16-year-old because obviously, privacy and shit, I don't want to get in trouble. This is from Lava's Instagram, however, which have been since privated. Surreal to work with here. And it is Lava, blurred out, Kris, Carl, and from what I can assume, correct me if I'm wrong because I didn't look into this, I couldn't find anything on it, his dad. But we don't know that, which is the issue here. Because obviously we don't know, it can go further into it, like, oh yeah, that could be some random person and he just went alone. But we can't say that for sure, so obviously I'm not going to make that allegation right here. So moving on from a lot of stuff, obviously it looks a bit fucked up. Another screenshot has arisen from Twitter. Kris Tyson's Twitter, March 4, 2017. With a screenshot from what I can only assume to be a 4chan post, stating, objectively, the easiest way to prevent rape is to start consenting. Yikes. Obviously, a distasteful joke. If you could even call it a joke. I mean, this is the type of shit a fucking year 7 would say in the playground if you're just having a laugh with your mates and you don't understand the word and you're just like, oh yeah, that's a funny word. I'm going to say a cool new word to all my mates. Yeah. So, it doesn't look good. But this is where it gets further into, like, uh-oh, this is actually quite bad territory. Like, obviously, everything before this is bad. But now we're getting into a different section of the Kris drama. Shavman. Shavman, if you don't know, I didn't know before this situation, because obviously I'm a normal guy, has a reputation for posting art of, how do I say it on YouTube without getting banned? Child modelled images and drawings. That'll work. Basically, pictures of in seductive and sexual positions, some of which are nudity. Great. Not great. So this screenshot on the screen, it is one of very many of Kris interacting with MrBeast. There's one that was talking about a Raftalia, I think it was, from Rising of the Shield Hero, an anime, who is 10 years old in the anime, I think, and begging for Rule 34 to be drawn of her. It's fucked up, but I'm just going to show this part because this is the part where it goes deeper and I can give some more like comments into it. Bonus fidget spinners to really throw in some extra autism at MrBeast. Don't look at the Twitter. I'm not going to blur it out because obviously it's a part of the story. MrBeast is Shavman's Twitter. Don't look. Have we got a mutual agreement? We're going to be normal people. And it's a picture which has been blurred out. I've seen the unblurred picture through many allegations, and it's not bad, but I also just didn't really want to see it because I'm normal. Yeah, it's a bit it is as bad because we don't know where this came from. The two ideas are it was either commissioned by Kris or it was bought by Kris as like a art piece. I mean, fucking beautiful art. That is a joke, YouTube. And then printed off. So, where this gets interesting, you might think, oh yeah, this is a joke tweet, you know. They didn't actually buy it. She didn't buy it. Well, we'll get into that in a bit. Let's just get into the statement and then we can bring this up. Okay, so Kris statement 1. I would like to apologise for any of my past behaviour or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best if I permanently step away from all things MrBeast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. Then it continues on, saying, I want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up in these accusations are at LavaGS, Lava's Twitter, has vocally supported that they are false. Having said that, I humbly apologise to anyone I have hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and those who may feel betrayed by how I used to act online. To lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behaviour intended beyond edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. In the past 2 years, I have learned my old humour is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. I do not want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who work at MrBeast, which is why I have stepped away. I mean, to rate this apology, it doesn't really take much. It takes a bit of accountability, to be fair. They didn't just like go, no, it wasn't me. But it's not the best. It could have been a twit longer, and it could have been a twit longer. She could have went through every last point in the whole situation. But that's just my personal preference. I think addressing each individual point and giving your side is relevant. But obviously this is an ongoing situation also, so there's a lot of points that are yet to be made, as of recording at least. And then MrBeast replied, which is where I've got something to say about it, and a lot of people on Twitter did. Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behaviour online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online, and I've taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company. So basically, before they've been removed from the company, they haven't left. It's not out the good heart, which is a bit of a yikes. They could have just said I got removed from the company, yeah. But to continue, I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators to the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation. Is that the right word? Yeah, it is. And I will take further actions based on their findings. Whether or not MrBeast is threatening legal action, which I find quite funny because we're going back to the shab-based thing though. You knew this was happening, at least the shab-based shit, because this clip shows you in a room with it, which obviously you must have seen, and you also follow Kris Tyson on Twitter because they are your childhood best friends. She's your right hand gal. You know what I mean? So I don't see how this was overlooked. I'll show that clip now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm hungry as shit, man. I mean, I would go extra large, but my girlfriend might get mad at me. But I mean,
mate, in the clip we can see you look at it. So obviously, MrBeast is under a lot of fire for this. As he should. But I do think the past is the past. MrBeast has done a lot for the world and for people and for the YouTube space in general. So I don't think MrBeast should be under too much shit. I think he should get, like, you know, listen, bro, we know you're lying. We can move on. And with all this being said, of course, fucking Sneeko gets involved. We're going to mention Sneeko. For the second time on this channel, Sneeko has joined the gang. You know, new rival. But yeah, let's get into the video.
Yo, look out. Moist Critical is not going to go talk about the Kris situation because he wants to have the MrBeast collab. Bro, you're going to talk about every other trending situation, Dr. Disrespect, Sneeko, anything that goes viral goes on your main channel. Kris, the associate of the biggest YouTube channel in the world, you do a 4-minute clip on your second channel. Stop coping and be a journalist if you're going to be a journalist, or just say that you want to have the collab. Stop lying.
So basically, Sneeko got involved. Of course he did. And he calls out Penguin Zero Moist Critical for not responding in a timely manner. Which I find like crazy, because the whole idea of it is, and he brought this up in another clip I won't show because obviously I just want to keep this video to the point. He goes on to like say, oh yeah, you're going to critique Dr. Disrespect, but you're so slow to critique Kris on her actions. And it just doesn't make sense, because obviously this was an ongoing situation at the time of this release. It was only a couple of days after. Penguin Zero Moist Critical Charlie, I'm just going to call him Charlie for the sake of this, because obviously he's got two names, that it's just confusing. He says that Charlie basically is in the wrong and is slow to reply and respond to this drama, which doesn't make sense because it was only a couple of days after, and Charlie had mentioned this on stream. And so I'm not gonna, obviously I don't want to bring up too many clips, but that's a bit like, that just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, this is the same guy also, may I mention, that was saying to lower the age of consent to maturity age in quotation marks. Let's show the clip.
Here's an easy question. Listen, okay, so should we update or not? What do you think the age of consent should be, Sneeko?
Yeah, this is not an important conversation.
No, it's a super important. You don't think f***ing kids or not is an important conversation? What do you think the age of consent should be? If you want to be consistent, you don't think anything updates, just tell us what you think it should be.
I think it should be past age, at a developed age. Dustin.
At a what is a developed age? If you had to set a law for it, what would you set it? What would you set it about?
I'd say it's a developed age.
No, answer the question, you fucking pussy. Holy shit, you're such a cowardly fuck. Stand up for what you believe in. If you actually are Muslim, you're actually Islamic or whatever, then stand up for your beliefs. Every other Muslim scholar online will do this. Do it. Stand tall on it. Don't act like a little pussy in here trying to grill XQC on modern meta ethics or whatever. If you won't even answer basic questions about your worldview, what should the age of consent be?
Do you see how?
You see how you want to answer the question? You see how he's going to yap and not answer the question? I'm going to ask the same thing when you're done. Go ahead.
I just answered the question. I just told you.
What was the age?
I just told you at a developed age.
Sneeko thinks you should be able to f 9-year-olds. That's what Sneeko thinks, and he won't answer that question honestly. Or he's going to have to give a different answer, in which case he's updated his morality. He's updated his views, and that's really uncomfortable for him. You don't have an answer to any of this shit, bro. Go back to f***ing that corner in London where you're getting roasted by year 1 debaters on Christianity. This is retarded. I don't know what the f you're doing in here.
Okay, so you can leave the call. I wanted to go talk about this.
I don't want to leave the call. I like hanging out here. I've talked to a lot of files in the past, so.
Like, bro, how mentally challenged are you? That you go along to say that the age of consent should be lowered to a maturity age. Okay, so maturity age, considering the factors in, people are early bloomers, late bloomers into puberty, and then they slowly gain maturity throughout that time. It's impossible to predict a good enough time for them people, and to say, oh yeah, they're mature, it could all be a facade. Whatever. Moist Critical then confronts Sneeko on the bullshit, because them two have had a run in the past that we've covered on this channel because it was fucking hilarious. So yeah, let's run that clip.
I'm talking about your personal beliefs. Do you think someone in their 20s should be able to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
To someone in their 20s should be, I mean, I personally wouldn't do it. I don't know many people who would do it, the maturity for people in the teenagers in the West is getting much worse. But there are
We're talking globally. Let's just talk globally. Like, do you think it is okay for, and I'm not talking about just you specifically anymore, anyone, do you think it's okay for anyone in their 20s, an adult, to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
A 21-year-old, if there was a marriage where the father consented and the daughter consented, and it was both good on both families and they wanted to do it, why am I going to get involved? Why should we get the government involved?
Well,
Why would I tell them if everybody's consenting, if everybody's okay with it, if the parents are okay with it, if nobody's being harmed, if it's going to be okay, if they're both abiding by the rules and they're not hurting each other, why not?
But they're still, like, they're at best a sophomore in high school. They can't consent to something like that. Like, do you...
No way my guy has the limited brain cells to produce such a fucking barbaric sentence to then say, if it doesn't hurt anyone, if it doesn't create any harm, then why am I to get involved? No, right. That shouldn't be in the question, right? From what it seems, he's kind of like went back on his word almost. But yeah, I'm going to leave this because we're going to go into the Dr. Disrespect shit right now. Which is, I'm just going to keep it short because most people know about it. But I think, I just want to talk, I think it's just best if I just fucking speak a little bit about it, because it's just interesting to me how the internet only recently found out, considering the Twitch ban of Dr. Disrespect, that was because of this whole thing, was in 2020, over 4 years ago. But yeah, so let's get into that. So to start off with, the rumour, I don't know exactly where it came from, so excuse me for that. It went viral online that the reason for Dr. Disrespect's ban on Twitch was, in fact, that Dr. Disrespect was using Twitch Whispers, which is a messaging system inside of Twitch, integrated into Twitch, to message a minor. The age is unknown. So, allow me to just also say, people who go, oh yes, it's a 17-year-old, why? Because the age was not mentioned, and I'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so that went online. So that went online, rounds around Twitter, and so Dr. Disrespect had mentioned it. But the apology itself, I'm not going to read the whole thing, I'm just going to show it on screen while I'm talking about it. The apology itself was pathetic to say the least, and was edited on Twitter, because originally had the word minor in, then removed the word minor, then people called them out on the fact they had minor in, then he added minor back. Which to me seems as if minor was a very, very big overstatement. So, like, obviously minor meaning everyone under the age of 21 or whatever it is in America, 18 I think. But it must have been bad if he changed it to individual. Or he was trying to cover his own tracks, I don't know. But that's how I seen it. And so that went around, but also you've got to take into account this man has a wife and kids. He cheated on his wife through Twitch fucking Whispers. Like, imagine that in court, bro. Like, imagine going to, like, a fucking divorce, like, hearing, and going, he cheated on me with a minor over Twitch. They go, first of all, they turn around and go, what the fuck's Twitch? But also, a minor? This shouldn't be a divorce hearing, that should be a sentencing. So, yeah, fucked up. And there was one more thing that I didn't see much online about the whole Dr. Disrespect, and that is this Twitter account by the name of Lena Love, I think her name was, basically leaks the DMs between her and Dr. Disrespect. Let me just pull up now. It says, during that time in 2017 when he was cheating on his wife with not only a trans sex worker but also another woman texting a minor, he was exploiting me by making him give cam shows with the promise of partnership. After the cam shows, he went ahead and blocked me. So he cheated on his wife with an ego. Now, I don't know about the trans sex worker stuff. I couldn't find much on it. I mean, it might be online. I tried, but I didn't see it. I tried to rush this because obviously it's an old thing, so I'm trying to get it out as soon as possible. If you look at these messages, I'm not going to read them all, but let's just pull up some bad ones. Still waiting, said by Dr. Disrespect. Yeah, I think one. Yeah, I'll think of one over. Yeah, I'll think of one soon. Overwhelmed packing for tomorrow. Not sure. A smooth black leather or latex. Don't know. And he went, nice. Feel like releasing one right now. Yummy. Should I let it go or hold on? In which she replied, egging him on, says, let it go, spray out. And Dr. Disrespect then says, I need something. What do you need, Doug? I'm sure you have all the e-girls ready to serve you. What the fuck? Lol, no. Lies? Uh-huh. No way. You gonna watch my explosive intro? Eh? Explosive intro, you fucking pervert. Anyway. The goddess must be worshipped from head to toe before you can explode. I want rewards. In which he left it on, I assumed, opened or delivered. And then just sent a tongue out face. Like, not emoji. Like, :P. Weird. But yeah. So Dr. Disrespect. Creepy guy. Kris Tyson. Weird. The internet, the state of the internet right now, it's left, right and centre. Over the last few years, it's been constant online. And what are we going to do about it? Because these creators get away with it too easily, and it makes it easier for other creators to then think it's okay. And I think we're a part of the problem. Yes, we cancel them, but we don't take appropriate action. We've got people like EDP445 still just fucking chilling on the streets. You've got fucking Dr. Disrespect. He's just dealing with some marriage counselling now. Like Kris Tyson, fucking Ava Kris Tyson. They said Dr. Kris Tyson. Fucking hell. Yeah, they are very similar in the whole situation. What did they do? They just left. They just got kicked out of MrBeast. They lost her career. Like, yeah, that's bad, but that's, I don't think, a punishment to fit the crowd. So yeah, that's the end of this. I'd just like to say, yeah, it's a fucked up world on the internet right now, and if you're planning to get into content, don't be like these people. We can fix the problem if we just take the appropriate actions against these creators. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. I thought it was something I should come back with a big long video talking about the whole situations, the two main situations of July 2024. So yeah, happy 2024, happy new year. I'm also back live streaming on Twitch quite often, currently working through Hollow Knight, the game, for a project I'm doing with Juggernaut. So yeah boys, until next time, see you later.